Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam Sarva Bhuta Nivasoshi Vasudevam Namastute. At the very outset, I convey my love and my regards to all of you on behalf of this great land of India. I express my gratefulness to the managing committee of Gandhi Centre to have invited me in this auspicious occasion of the Gita Day. It's an honor and a privilege. Before saying anything, I offer my salutations to my master Bhagwan, from whom I have received everything. Whatever I am today is because of his blessings. So today we have been given an opportunity to assemble together to discuss about Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Arjuna, who is the prominent among the Pandavas, and Lord Sri Krishna. This dialogue happened in a battlefield of Kurukshetra, where the war is going to commence, and Arjuna is in a state of deep melancholy, deep delusion. His heart is completely overtaken by shadow because of the attachment towards his own family members, his relatives. And in that case, and in that situation, Arjuna decided not to fight, and he confesses to Krishna that I'm not going to fight. The reason why I'm not going to fight? Because Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyotsami Pujarhar Varisudana. This is the cause of not fighting. What is the fight? What is the cause? How can I fight with arrows with person like Drona or Bhishma? Bhishma is my great grandfather and Drona is my master. I revere them as God, as my guru. I always remember them when in the morning I bow down before them, and I don't know how I'm going to fight with them. And if I do this, if I'm going to kill them, or if I'm going to kill my relatives who are there in front of me, I'm going to commit a great crime. And that is what that is why I'm not going to fight. In this situation, Lord Krishna, first of all, tried to explain him that what he was thinking, what he was doing is wrong. First of all, he tried to say to Arjuna that kutastva kashmalam idam bishame shamupastitam anajajustam asargam akirti karam Arjuna. These were the first words of Lord Krishna to Arjuna. When he saw that this great man of valor, he is crying, he is expressing his inability to fight against injustice, fight against the crimes which were done to his family. He was really shocked. He was really surprised. So Krishna, expressed his amazement. Kutastva kashmalam idam. Where did this darkness come into your heart? When we talk about Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is very, very close to our heart. Bhagavad Gita is very relevant to our lives, because we are also facing it. We are also facing a battle in front of us. Every day we go to battle, and every day we face the same situation where Arjuna is now today. When we are going to take our decisions, then we come to a crossroad, which path to take, because one is Shreya and the other one is prayer. We know about Nachiketa. When Nachiketa went to his guru Yama, the first thing that Yama said to Nachiketa was Shreyascha Preyascha Manushasya Metastau Samparitya Vivinakta. There are always two paths. One is the Shreya, that path which is going to do good to you, which is going to benefit you. And the other path is prayer, that path which you like, which you think as best. So always we are in the crossroad in our lives. Whenever we have to make a decision, we have to fight with these two paths. One is the Shreya and the other is the prayer. Here also, Arjuna is fighting between Shreya and prayer. He knows that he has to fight for this injustice, but his heart does not approve that. His heart says, no, I cannot kill my brothers. I cannot kill my master. I cannot kill my grandfather. And while Krishna saw this, Krishna was amazed. Kutastva kashmalam idam bishame shamupastitam. How did this darkness, come to your heart? In this time, when you are going to fight, when you need to rise up, what happened to you? Anarjajushtam. This act of cowardice is not in context with those who are Aryans, because Aryans is a race who are known for, known for their commitment, who are known for their commitment of duty, but you are not doing a duty. You are running away from your duty. Anarjajushtam, asargam. When Arjuna was saying, Arjuna was always talking about, when I'm going to kill my relatives, when I'm going to kill my brothers, I'm going to accumulate sin. And by this sin, I'm going to hell. But Krishna said, if you don't carry on your duties, if you don't perform your duties, you are going to hell. Now, when you're standing in the battlefield, your work is to fight, not to judge. So you need to fight, and if you don't fight, then you are going to go to hell. Anarja Jushtam Asargam Akirti Karam Arjuna. And this work that you are doing, this is going to give you a lot of bad name. Don't do this. And then Lord Krishna said that Klaivang Mashmagama Partha Naitat Tatyupapadyate. When you listen to Bhagavad Gita, when you listen to these words, always know that this is not what Krishna has said to Arjuna. Always know that these are the words that Krishna has said to us. So when you read the Bhagavad Gita, you think yourself to be Arjuna, because at any point you are going to need it. You are going to need these words, and when you know that these are spoken to me, then they are going to work. But if you think that these were spoken to Arjuna, it will not work. So here Lord Krishna is saying that Klaivang Mashma Gama Partha, abandon this quality, abandon this characteristics of becoming an of being unmanliness. You're not talking like a man. You're being unmanly. Klaivang Mashma Gama Partha. Why you are unmanly? Because you are not doing your duties. The thing that Bhagavad Gita gives us is one word called Swadharma. Everybody has got their duties, and everybody has to perform their duties. And if you don't perform your duties, then you are going to go to hell, then you are going to go, get step into adversity. Swadharmapi chabeksha na bikampitum arhasi. If it is your swadharma, if it is a if it is your duty, if you perform your duties, there is no evil which can ever touch you. There is no sin which can ever touch you. And if you don't do your duty, then all kinds of sin, without doing our duties, if we start to, do worship, if we start to do something which is not our duty, however, pious it may be, it is not going to give you good results. It will always produce adverse results. So, Bhagavad Gita always inspires us to perform our own duty. Swadharmapi chabeksha na bikampitum arasi. Never, never be averse to performing your duties. So here Lord Krishna says that Klaivang mashmagama partha naita tatyupapadyate. Abandon this unmanliness. This doesn't suit you. Shudra ridaya dorbalyam Tyaktotishta Dhananjaya. These were the words. If Arjuna could listen to these words, then we would not have, had this Gita. Because this is the, this is the solution to all the problems of our life. Shudra Ridaya Dorbalyam. What is this Shudra Ridaya Dorbalyam? Ridaya means heart. Here, Ridaya means mind. Shudra means narrow-mindedness. When we become narrow-minded, when we think about our own good, that is narrow-mindedness. And what is broad-mindedness? When we think about the good of everybody. So when we are thinking the good of everybody, that is broad-mindedness, and that is the solution of every problem. In your own life, if you see that you are facing a problem, what do we try to do? We try to solve this problem according to our own perspective. And we see that while we are trying to solve a problem, we give rise to many other secondary problems. And our life becomes a web of problems. We just solve one problem to another problem to another problem. And this is what we call life. Why? Because we have been, approaching life through narrow-mindedness. Means I only am thinking from my perspective. I am only thinking about my own good. But when I do it for others, for everybody, Shudra Ridaya Dorbalyam Tyaktotishta. This is the Dorbalyam. This is a weakness. This is the disease. Thinking narrow, thinking only about yourself. This is the disease. Lord Krishna said, come on, rise up from this. Tyaktotishta, Tyaktva Uttishta. By sacrificing this, by renouncing this, character, rise up. This is the only solution. But then Arjuna did not listen. Arjuna was arguing. But while he was arguing, he knew that he's talking to Lord Krishna. And, while he was talking, while he was presenting his arguments about not fighting, somewhere within his mind, he knew that he had to surrender. This is because Arjuna was pure-hearted. If his karmas were good, because his karmas were good, he understood that there is something which I am lacking, which I'm missing. And that is why at one point Arjuna said, Karpanna dosha apahata sabhava prichhami tvam dharma sangmooda chetaha yashreyam mam sannishitam bruhi tanme shishastoyam sadhimam tvam prapanyam. This is a prayer. Arjuna is, teaching us how to pray. See what he's saying. Karpanna dosha apahata sabhava. You are saying that I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight. Guru nahatva himahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhakshamapi haloke. In place of killing my guru, it is better that I beg and I spend my life in that way. But at one time he said, Karpanna dosha apahata sabhava. Karpanya, that is kripana. In Sanskrit, this word is kripana. In English, it is called miser. But Karpanna is not being miser. Kripana means somebody who does not know the goal of his life, mission of his life, why I am born. We spend our life. We think that accomplishing power, accomplishing money, accomplishing wealth, this is the goal of our life. But this is not the goal of our life. Because by accomplishing all this, we see that we do not have peace. We do not have fulfillment. We cannot stop. That means this is not the goal of my life. We have forgotten the goal of our life and we are all kripana. So here Arjuna is confessing, Karpanna dosha apahata sabhava. My wisdom have been completely taken over by this delusion of the mission of my life. I forgot the mission of my life. Prichhami tvam dharma sangmura cheta. I want to know. So whenever you come to this point where you do not have, whenever you see that there's no way ahead, learn to fold your hands and bow down your head and ask mercy, ask for help. There is this Lord always there. Krishna is not only the charioteer of Arjuna, Krishna is the charioteer of each and every person. Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshe Arjuna tishtati. God is living within each and everybody's heart. He is living within us also, in our heart. We have to believe it, that God is there. Whenever we confront any problem, we always seek the answers outside. We try to find a solution outside. We speak to our parents, we speak to our friends, we speak to our others. We never speak to ourselves. We never try to find the solution within ourselves, within our heart. Here it says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshe Arjuna tishtati. Brahmayanti sarva bhutani yantra rurani maya. What he's doing is, he is always playing with us with his stick, with his magic called Maya, delusion. We are all deluded. We are all running and running, but we don't know where to stop. Why it is? Because there is somebody who is sitting inside and he is making us run. He is giving us a virtual goal and we are all running after that virtual goal, which is never going to fulfill. And that is what we are doing. But then Lord Krishna says, Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. The only way to reach to the solution, the only way to reach the goal is if you know that God is inside of you. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. Completely surrender to Him with all your might. With all your might, with everything that you have. What do you have? You have a mind. You have a heart. You have an intellect. You have an ego. So with your mind, with your intellect, with your ego, surrender before Him. Tell Him that I cannot do it. Help me. Help me, O Lord. Whenever you see that there is a problem which you cannot solve, which is beyond your control, don't go to solve it. Raise up your hands and depend on the Lord who is within you. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. With all your might. So what is this might? This might is, what is my might? My might is my body. My might is my mind. My might is my intellect. My might is my ego. My might is the strength that I have. With all the strength, I need to surrender before Him. What will happen? Tat prasadat paramam shanti. When you do it, when you can, surrender before him with all your might, then what happens? Tat prasadat paramang shanti. Then you reach this supreme, absolute peace. You reach the state of absolute peace. Sthanam prapsasi shashwatam. And you find a space which is eternal. Means you don't die. You go beyond death. Death is the biggest enemy. Why? Because death is the biggest fear. We all fear death, but we don't know how to surpass it. We don't know. But it says that if you surrender before the Lord, you will reach such a place where you will go beyond death. So, here we were. Lord Krishna was approached by Arjuna that karpanna dosha apahata sabhava. You also do the same when there is a problem. When there is a problem, you also do the same. Go to the Lord, stand before him and speak to him as if you're speaking to your father, your mother, or your friends. We don't believe it, but there is Lord always. It is not seen. Like we say now, when we were there, somebody was saying, today it is 0.5 degrees centigrade. Did anybody see what is 0.5 degrees centigrade? No. We feel it. We are feeling it. How? By our skin, by our senses. So whatever we feel in this world, whatever we know in this world is all through our senses. But that is not everything. There is something which can be felt when we transcend our senses, when we go beyond our senses. What is God? What is God? What is reality? What is truth? Abang manasa gocharam. When you go beyond your mind, when you go beyond your speech, then you come face to face with a reality which cannot be spoken, which can only be felt, which can only be realized, and that is called God. So God is always there. Whenever there is a problem, speak to him rather than speaking to this world. Karpanna dosha apahata sabhava. I have forgotten I have forgotten the goal of my life. Prichhami tvam dharma sangmura chetaha. I forgot. I'm deluded. Deluded by what? Deluded what I should do or what I should not do. I'm deluded about my own duty. What should I do? In which path I should take? I am deluded. I don't know. Karpanna dosha apahata savava prichhami tvam dharma sangmura cheta. Then he says, Yashreya syam tan nishitam bruhitan me. What is good for me? Tell me. Have we ever prayed to God, God, give me that, what is good for me? Have anybody prayed like this? No. How do we pray? God, I need money. God, I need work. God, I need this. God, I need that. Without knowing whether that is going to do good to me or not. We never say, God, give me that which will do good to me. We never say that. So here Krishna is, Arjuna is teaching us. Yashreyam syannishitam bruhitan me. That which is best for me, tell me about that. Shishyastoyam sadhimam tvam prapanyam. I am your disciple. I am a devotee. I surrender before thee. So from here, Bhagavad Gita starts. So there was a saint in India called Swami Vivekananda. You must have heard about him. He said that as we know that Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters and each chapter is a yoga. Yoga means the state of union with God. Even the first chapter, that is Arjun Vishad Jog, where Arjuna was speaking about his own, mind, is also a yoga. So, there is 18 chapters, but in the second chapter, that is the Sankhya Yoga, there are the last 18 shlokas or verses from 854 to 72. There's 18 verses. Swami Vivekananda said that these 18 verses are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So we'd like to, we'd like to discuss about this if we have time. How much time do you have now? हाँ? अभी कितना समय है बाकी? हाँ? 5 minutes. Okay, so this 18 verses starts with a question of Arjuna. What is best in Bhagavad Gita is this, that there is question and answer. It's not that Lord Krishna is talking to him and giving advices. It's not like that. The whole of Bhagavad Gita is based on the mental state of Arjuna. First of all, it starts with, the first problem of Arjuna was how to get rid of this shock, how to get rid of this, grief. So from there, it started, but then it crossed into different aspects of spirituality, different aspects of life. And at one point, when Lord Krishna was talking to him about yoga means super conscious state, the state where we become one with the divine. We know ourselves as human being. Whenever somebody asks, who are you? We say that we are this name, we are this form, we are this name, we are this body, we are human being. But Vedanta says, you are the self. Tattvamasi. You are the self. You are that consciousness. And that consciousness is you. That means you are not what you see. You are not what you perceive about yourself. You are that consciousness. So when Lord Krishna was talking to him about this consciousness, then Arjuna asked one question. What was that? That sthita pragyasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthita di kim prabhaseta kimasita brajeta kim. So, the highest goal of a human being, why are we here? Why are we in this plane of duality? We are in this plane of duality because we have to experience the non-dual self. We are in this plane of imperfection because being in this plane of imperfection, we need to attain the state of perfection. And that is the goal of our life. And if you don't attain this goal of your life, you have to come again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayanam. Every time you need to come again and again, not to work, not to attain money or power or anything, or to fulfill your pleasures. You will always take birth till the date you know who you are, that you are the divine. So this state of being in the state of divine is called yoga. And the person who is always established into the state of yoga is called sthita pragya. Pragya means knowledge. A person who is completely established into that knowledge means he is doing everything, but he knows that he is not this body. He knows that he is not this human being. He is not the name. He is not the form. He is the self. He is the non-dual self. And this person is called sthita pragya. So Arjun's first question was, sthita pragyasya ka bhasha. Whom do you say as being, sthita pragya? Who is the one who is always established into the self? Samadhisthasya keshava. Samadhi is another term. Samadhi. Samadhi comes from the word called sama. Sama means oneness, where everything is one. When you see this world, everything is not one. There is baisamya. That is, there is no, there is always disruption. There's no equanimity. There's always duality. But there is a state of complete non-dualness where there's one, samadhi, where you are one with the divine. Like we are talking about Lord Krishna. So Krishna is there and I am here. We are separated. There's two. But there is a way by which I can become one with him. I can feel this oneness with him. And that is called That happens in the state of samadhi, super conscious state. So Arjuna is asking, samadhisthasya keshava. What is called this samadhi? Sthitadhi kim pravasheta. How does this person who has attained the state of samadhi or yoga, they talk? How do they talk? Kimasita. How do they live? Brajeta kim. And how do they travel? This was his question. And in this, in this answer, Lord Krishna gave 18 verses, and they are considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So let us start one of them. Lord Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanaivatmana tushta sthita pragyasya do uchate. Never think that these words are hard to understand. Okay? First of all, remove this, this blockage that we cannot understand it. It's very, very clear. What is Lord Krishna saying? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. O Partha, O Arjuna, there is this mind. We all have mind. But what is this mind? This mind is the producer of desires all the time. You see your mind? If you see your mind, what is there? I need this. I need that. I have to go there. I have to go there. I have to talk. Every time there is a wish. So the thought that we say is not a thought. It is actually wishes, desires. And the sum total of all desires is called mind. So every time our mind is producing desires. And what is happening? We think that these are our desires. We don't know what is mind. Mind is not ours. It is a part of nature. It is a medium through which the consciousness is manifesting. The consciousness manifests itself through the mind, through the body. So it's not me. But because I do not know, because of ignorance, because nobody has said this to me, I think that this mind is me. So the thoughts or the wishes or the desires which are produced within the mind, I think they are also me. And then what I do? I chase them. And while I chase these desires, what happens? I get attached to those desires, and then I make my life hell. Lord Krishna says, Prajahati. He is not telling about, whenever we talk about spirituality, I've seen many people say that spirituality means mind control. You cannot control your mind. Can you control the wind? Can you control the clouds? You cannot control the mind. What do you need to do? Prajahati, you need to separate yourself from the mind. You have to create a distance from the mind. You have to create the first thing that a guru teaches a disciple is this non-attachment. Non-attachment from the mind. The mind is not you. The mind is a matter. So you don't need to kill it. You don't need to stop it. The only thing that you need to do is you need to create a distance from the mind so that the existence of the mind does not bother you. The existence of your mind does not distract you. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. One who have created this distance with the mind in such a way that whatever the mind does not affect him at all. If by any way, this process is called yoga. What is yoga? Yoga means when I can create a distance from the mind in such a way that whatever is there in my mind, whether my mind is happy or sad, whatever it is, I am completely untouched with that. This practice is called yoga. That is yogic practice. This is the practice which the master gives to a disciple. This is called spirituality. So a person who has created this distance from the mind, and when you have created this distance from the mind, when the mind does not have any impact on you, what happens? Atmanaivatmana tushta. You will always see that when you have created a distance from the mind, you have started to become aware about who you are. These words of the Vedanta, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Pragyanam Brahma, I am that consciousness. You are that consciousness. Shoham, you are that. These words starts to become alive within you. You start to feel it. You start to become aware about this. Yes, I'm not the person which I thought to be. I'm not this name. I'm not this form. I'm something else. I'm something else. Who am I? I am this reality. I am this consciousness. You start to become aware about that consciousness. Atma naiva atmana tushta. You start to become aware about who you are, who you really are. And by then, there is another word, tushta. Tushti means you feel peace, which is a very rare commodity in this world. Everywhere there is destruction. Everywhere there's war. The war is also going on within me. If you really want to stop war outside, you need to stop that war within. How? By attaining that state of peace. You have that supreme silence within you, which you are not aware of. Atman naiva atmana. Only by being aware about yourself, you attain that state of supreme peace. Atman naiva atmana tushta sthita pragyastado uchyate. That person is called sthita pragya. He is always, established in this knowledge. Then he says a very practical way of how to attain this state. He says that uh, what was that? The Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atman naiva atmana tushta sthita pragyasta dochate. Then dukheshu anudvignamana. We have two states in our life. One is called happiness and the other is called sadness. When we are sad, we feel anxious. How to get rid of this sadness? We become anxious. We don't feel, we don't search ways to get rid of sadness. The moment we see that there is that sadness is coming, we become anxious, scared. Lord Krishna teaches us not to be scared while you are facing this sadness. Lord Krishna tells us to face it. Dukheshu anudvignamana. Whenever this sadness is approaching you, don't run away. Face it. Face it. You will see there is no sadness. Sukheshu vigata spriha. And when there is happiness, what we do? We try to hold it, preserve it, keep it with us. He says, don't do that. Because happiness and sorrow is like day and night. You cannot hold the day. This day will go into become night. The night will become day. These are complementary to each other. So don't try to, hold on to this happiness, because this happiness is not going to stay. This will again turn into sadness. Dukheshu anudvignamana, sukheshu bigata spriha, beat raga bhaya krodha. Try to get rid of attachments. How to get rid of attachments? What you have to know, what is attachment. Whenever you see that something becomes so important that without that you cannot live, you know that this is attachment. And right at that moment, when you see that, something has become so important that without that you cannot live, the only thing that you should do is to search a way how to get rid of that, or to search a way by which you can live without that. Because if you don't do it, you are actually, making your own grave. You're digging your own grave, because attachment is the cause of destruction. Attachment is the cause of destruction. So, always, beat raga, always in every spiritual text, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, you will say that in every chapter, specifically, Lord Krishna has maintained that you need to get rid of your attachments. Attachments. How to get rid of our attachment? Lord Krishna gives us karma yoga, a very, very easy way by which we can get rid of our attachments. He doesn't say that go, try to meditate, try to do this. He doesn't give us very, hard exercises. He gives us a very simple way of living, a simple way of working. He introduces karma yoga to us. And by introducing karma yoga, what he's saying is that every work that we do, while we are performing these actions, we are always thinking about the results. What is the result? What I'm going to get in every action? You see, all the actions that we do, every time we always think about what we are going to get in return. Lord Krishna says, never do that. Engage your whole mind, engage your whole heart into the performance of those actions, into completion of that actions, without thinking what you are going to get in return. If you do that, then the first thing that will happen is you will become unattached to the results of action. But as you keep doing it, as you keep performing the same way, as you keep performing the actions in the same way, you see that you are not only getting unattached from the results of action, you have also got unattached from the actions also. Again, when you start to practice it more and more, you see that you are not only unattached from the results of actions or the actions, you are actually unattached from the doership. You see that you are not the doer. The moment you come to this point where you perform everything knowing that you are not the doer, you see that you are not attached to anything. You are completely free. You are completely free from all action. And this is called karma yoga. So in Bhagavad Gita, he has given this very, very simple way of living. It is simple. If you start to practice it, you will see that within a very short time, you can master it. And then you will see that every work becomes a delight. Every work becomes a means of joy to you. So, Bhita Raga Bhaya. Never be scared, never be afraid of anything. Whenever you are afraid of something, try to know why you are afraid. What happens when we are scared? We just close our eyes. We try to run away. But here Lord Krishna says, don't do that. Look, what is the reason of fear? When you try to, search, ponder over the reason of your fear, you see that there is no reason why you are scared. There's no reason. There's nothing to scare you. You are very, very powerful. You discover a power within yourself which you have never felt, which you didn't know about yourself. And that is why whenever there is whenever there is fear, never run away. Always face it. You will see that you're free from all fears. You're powerful. Swami Vivekananda used to say that you have infinite power within you, which you don't know. He used to tell, he used to refer himself in this way: I'm the commander of the universe. This is what Swamiji used to say. So you are also the commander of the universe. You also have the power, but you have to face the fears. Then you will feel this power. Bhita raga bhaya, and then krodha. Krodha means anger. Anger is a fire. It's a very, very strong fire. When you are angry, that strong fire, through that strong fire, all the inherent energy is wasted. You need to preserve it. You need to protect it. You need to stop being angry. Whenever you are angry, always try to control yourself, not react. Practice it. And as you practice it, if you can get rid of your anger, you will see that you are always with knowledge. That knowledge is always guiding you. There's no reason why you should be angry. Bitaraga bhaya krodha sthitadhi muni ruchate. These people are called, sthita pragya. So I pray to God, to Lord Krishna, so that He gives you that wisdom, that heart, that pure heart, so that you seek this knowledge. Because without seeking, you will never have it. The knowledge is always within you. Tadbriddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. How to attain this wisdom? Go to a guru and bow down before him and serve him with a question. What is that question? The question is this: who am I? Why did I come here in this world? And what is my mission? And where will I go? These are the very basic things which we don't know. Who you are. Why did you come here? Why are you doing this? We are all going to leave everything here. Why I am working? Why I am running after this? Why I am working so hard? We don't know. He is doing, and that is why I also have to do. But why he is doing? Why I am doing? Nobody knows. We don't know the purpose of our life. Tadbriddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Bow down before a master and ask this question. This is how you can serve him. Upadakshinti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. The moment you ask it, the moment you ask this question to the master will deliver the answer to you. Now the question is, where can I find a master? The master is always within you, in your heart. If you don't have a physical master, ask this question to yourself, to your heart. Who I am? Koham, koham. Who am I? Who am I? You will see the divine will send a person to you to answer this. Shoham, shoham, shoham. You are that. You are that. You are that. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.